Alright, hello and welcome back to another session of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Hope you guys are doing well as always. As I slur my words and as I switch over as well. Yeah, so we're still on episode 2, right? Let's just get right into it. Episode 2, Investigations 2, Case 2, Episode 2. We're investigating Day 2. Everything is 2, right? So we just talked to Shlomes and Iris, right? I don't know where else now after this. Wait. Let's see the history. Okay, so alright, the most likely the room again, right? Yeah, there he is. So we investigate everything. He's right over here. Alright, Mr. Shlomes, what are you up to over there? What a question indeed. Was it not your good self who asked me to attend to the scene? Oi, what are you doing here, Shlomes? What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems. Alright, is now the time, Mr. Shlomes? They're about to show us your forensic talents in action as you promised. Wait, let me auto here. Yeah, I shouldn't be talking too much because I've bit my cheek a few times. Oh, that's why I have like a little, well, I'm just gonna check a few things before. Right. Should be alright. I just need to just half pay attention. The Skin Print Seeker. Wonder what that is. Alright. That's fine. Alright, we're back in. Yeah, man, I've been a lot of bots out here. I'll tell you that. On Twitch, gotta be careful. A livery spraying the room with this chemical. Everything the victim touch is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Alright, try them on. Alright, skin print. So we get to see... What's it? Fingerprints, right? Alright, how do I do that exactly? Oh, a bit of Emma Sky's stuff. Oh, damn. Like a fog. Alright, so we're getting right into it. As you do, go ahead. Try, my dear fellow. We may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Alright. Oh, obviously, Shirley, yep. That makes sense. How about the bricks? That's a lot. There's way too many fingerprints. What? Let me check on the left side here. Oh, this is way too many prints. Oh, no. Oh, how about this? Oh, look. This here. Yes. There we go. A multitude of the victim's handprints. Why there's so many of them in this floor in this one spot? Oh, perhaps he had a bad fall just here? No, no, no. There's nothing obvious that he would have tripped over, though, is it? Is there? Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Shlomes. Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor. I think we're done, maybe. Let's see. Wait, do I check everything? I don't understand what exactly... Yeah, checking here. Actually do. Oh, here we go. There's a dozen handprints here. On the painting. Near the painting, actually. Bit weird. Yeah, sends a chill down my spine. Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture. Unlikely, I would say. It's rather a dull scene after all. Not a lot of prints on the picture though. This is a bit weird. I don't know what this means. I don't know what these handprints mean. Bit of a mystery then. Well, we sprayed Mr. Shlome's amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we? Two places in particular that are of interest, I would say. Floorboards and the portrait, right? The picture, you mean? Yes, and I think the floor warrants closer investigation. I won't be a what? I won't be a moment? Oh, there she is. Ah, what is it? Mrs. Addo. Okay, now, Hodo. One of the floorboards have popped out. Yeah, and I think we've all noticed that since the start. Secret hiding place? Excellent work, Mrs. Addo. So what do we have here? Oi, what are you playing? What are you lot doing? Inspector Gregson. Stand aside right this minute. It's my job to investigate there. No, indeed, Inspector. You continue to dig into your portion of chips whilst we dig around here under the floor here. Your fancy talk's putting me off my food anyway, Shaloms. A new bit of evidence is exactly what I need. Makes sense, yeah. He was looking. He's ordered by Van Zeek. Wow. A secret hiding place under the floor? What a find. Not a hiding place you could make use of in Japan. I don't think I could lift a straw to Tammy, man. No, I know. But I never expected one of those wooden floorboards to move either. Got me wondering about that wall over there too. Aren't you curious? Oh. I'll investigate at once. There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall. Then how do you explain the handprints? Handprint? Handprint. Sorry if I slur my words, but I'm trying not to raise my jaw too much. I just completely skipped that. Click. Who's clicking? A whirl? Oh, it's a mechanism. There you are. A print for you. Oh no, he just took a photo. Never mind. Wait, he could take a... Wait. He took a photo of the prints? That's a bit crazy. Yeah, his invention can make prints too. Now then, oh, it's on the gun, I see. I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know. So am I. Examine? I don't know. Let's check up with Gregson first. I do love to know if there's anything hidden underneath the floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. Inspector Gregson? Really? It's been too long. What is this, Shlomes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there, seeing as we're such good friends. I know exactly what kind of spread he's using. We're not friends. Oh, no. No, I suppose not. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Ugh. I'll kill to know what's underneath that floorboard. Alright. Oh, never mind. Maybe we do get some answers here. Alright, fair is fair. What? You did discover the hiding place after all. He seems a bit too generous here. I suppose I should at least fill you in. Alright. Tell us then. Alright, do it quickly, my dear fellow. There's one thing I know about this man. It's that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather. Alright, stop making me out to be some kind of nut. There were 3 items under the floor there. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now, what do you want to know? Let's go for the newspaper. Well, I mean, we could go through all 3, right? Looks like this was cut out of the paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving time up in Manchester. That's pretty up north. How terrible. From London to Manchester? Yeah. The bloke has been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first. Oh. Oh my goodness, he committed a capital offense? Man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work into burglaries and murder. You see, the hoard he knocked off was worth about £1,000. Hoard of treasure, you mean? £1,000, that's probably... I mean, that is a lot. That is a lot. In today's time, and back then it was like... That was like the millions back then. £1,000 lost. En route to hell, or such, was the headline. Does it not strike you, though? Why such an article would be so carefully and esconed under the phone? Is that how to say it? I suppose now you mention it. Ah, I nearly bit it. I nearly bit my... Okay, easy down. Let's just slow the words. Sorry if I do sound drunk in this session, but First, I'll go over the paperwork we got on Selden back on the yard and see if I can turn anything up. Oh god, I nearly clipped my mouth there again. I did it this morning while I was eating breakfast. Ah. Oh, here we go. Interesting photo. This is the photograph I found. Looks reasonable recent to me. Yes, it would appear to have been taken on the street. The gentleman on the left is Mr. Gaideb, the landlord. Yeah, seems like Olive Green is going to be an interesting Mr. Gaideb's son, perhaps? Perhaps. You can take the print if you like. Really? Are you sure? You can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows. The identity of the young fellow, that is. Ah, is that true? Huh. Well, it's too bad if we do. Fortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. Hey, that's a bit of a contradicting statement since the last case we had with him. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. All the more reason I'm not telling you. A dismal failure. Dismal. Dismal, that's what it is. Not dismal. Dismal. Alright, we've got the photograph here. I wonder, why a photograph like this was hung underneath the floor? I mean, Mr. Shanspeare himself isn't in it. That guy looks familiar, though. I imagine Mr. Gaideb was delighted. I don't know. I don't know who he is. Olive Green has a photo of him as well. Now, this tin box looks interesting, doesn't it? I suggest, Inspector, that you open it. If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind the case, I wouldn't be in the least surprised. It's completely empty. What? Shanspeare? Give us a clue, man. An empty box, huh? Didn't even have a chance to utter the word Miss Naruto. But anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box. Yes, the na is empty. Kaput, as they say, nothing. Is it called kaput? Kaput means it's like broken. Nudder, I guess. Ooh. Is that... There he is. There's Waggy. Wagahai. Oh, look at that animation. Oh, look. It's that lovely little kitty cat. What is his name? It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wagahai? You know, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese. Does he? I wonder how he got in here. Clever cat. Oh, wonderful. Well then, Wagahai. Here's something delicious I bought for you from the cat. From the cat's meat man? Wagahai. I never know it. Yeah, it's wearing a little bow. I don't know if I, mentioned that before. Yeah. Very, very cute little bow. Like, Thimjig. Mr. Natsume. Takes over his owner, right? Was it his looks takes I don't know what the saying is. What's going on? You got something for us, Wagahai? There we go. Give me that thumbnail picture. Yeah. That's it. That's good, Wagahai. That was a cheeky little meow, Wagahai. Oh, but he's so adorable. I could sit and watch him forever. I think he may not appreciate that after a while, and we have been investigating to get back on. Yeah, we have an investigation to get back on. Alright, is that it? So we got 2 pictures. I guess we could go to Mr. Gaideb. Condemned prisoner. Huh. And the prints on the wall. Guess we move out. Is Mr. Gaideb in the house? No. Isn't? Alright, yeah, we could do a few things here. Alright, nothing here. Alright. Oh no. Whoa, wait, hold on. It's the wait. I thought I would hold on. I thought it was like the wrong thing. We got something. The evil spirit. Hold on. I need to look at the the history. A convicted killer and the evil spirit that has afflicted his lodgings. Capital offender Selden. The truth is, I don't know the details myself until very recently. That Selden man was arrested about a year ago now. And at the time, he was hiding out in lodgings at Mr. Garadeb's house. What? He lived where you do now? Alright. Exactly where I live now. In my very room. The convicted guy lived in his thing. Crazy. The room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offense. But before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started. The curse. What really is the curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Netame? Oh, I guess we'll find out. It already caused one death. A few months after the criminal passed away in prison. Man died in the room. The man who rented it after Selden, in fact. Alright. Poor lodger, he was found dead in a mysterious circumstance. The room was locked from the inside. Locked from the inside? Exactly like the case we're dealing with now. That's the convict's curse, isn't it? Right, yes. Well, that was the start of it. Oh, there's more to it? Convict's curse. Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume? The official cause of death was asphyxia. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas. Gas. I only found that out after I signed the lease. When Mr. Garadeb came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I'll probably have been too scared to take the room. Landlord's lease, luckily, legal. Looking for Mr. Garadeb, maybe, but not so looking for poor Mr. Matsume. And now you believe this curse is affecting you. It is, at first. I just felt as though I was being watched. All the time. And then you talk about having nightmares, didn't you? And the dead are trying to take me with them, and they come for me, and they try to suffocate me. And just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up. The room. It's as cold as ice. I think you just didn't pay the thing. Why is your room so cold? London's winters are too cold to bear without any heating on overnight, but for some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb into bed at night, the pile of light always goes out and the room fills with gas. But that's terrible. Exactly the same situation as what led... Yeah, that's the problem. You're killing yourself with gas. Yeah, the pile of light always goes out and the room fills with gas. Yeah, that's the same situation. Yeah, that's clearly more to that instant that could be explained by the curse, though. I think we found the problem. Yeah, but the cause can be this curse. Strange happenings in Mr. Garadeb's rooms. Yeah, but why is this like a loose gas, though, right? Whoop! Don't move on. No, nothing about this one. Do we leave? I think we go to Mr. Garadeb now. Okay, now this is... Now surely... where is it? Mr. Garadeb's room? Surely this might change. Yeah, feels like it. Alright. Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. There he is. Oh, you're here now, Mr. Garadeb. Been looking for you. Right body business it is for me, you know, getting out and about. We had the Old Bailey by any chance? Naturally, fate of my lodgings hanging in the balance and all that. No, trial to miss. The fate of what's already been dubbed your haunted lodgings, yes. Of course, the place has caused quite a stir around the capital on more than one occasion already. As the all haunted lodgings or some such. Well, at least he knows. Makes you wonder what the blazes go on, did you know? Yes, I'm sure it does. In fact, thinking back to Mr. Natsume's other trial just 2 days ago. You were at the Old Bailey then as well, weren't you? Testifying with your wife about what happened. Yeah, he's been a busy man, Mr. Garadeb. Stopped off out of the prison on the way home, in fact. Beastie business. I see. Wait, so is his wife put into custody? Yeah, so what brings you to my haunted abode today, eh? Oh. Your lodgings, your lodger. Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh? Yes, the house does seem to be... Looks that bally curse. Convict's curse, you mean? Ah, heard the stories, have you? Ron Scoundrel was arrested, then the next chap in the room goes and kneels over. Or keels over. Then there was a woman who dropped dead just outside the street, not to mention the actor yesterday. Am I next, eh? Well, can't help but get the collywobbies. Collywobbies? The collywobbles, can you? When you say the woman who dropped dead outside on the street, do you mean Miss Green? Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shamspear, who was poisoned last night, both very much alive still. Yes, well. So it's that blasted convict's curse, it seems. Personally, I should be quite content with such logins. A bath, a toilet, a fireplace, a fascinating history? Why? Sounds like the lap of luxury. Huh. I'm not sure, not so sure about that. Well, there's no bath or toilet included. No fireplace either. You do look out for your tenants, do you? Don't you? But watching the rise and fall of the flames of your gas lamps up here. Yes, never hurts to keep an eye on things, in case there are any mishaps or such like. I think you have had your mishap already, sir. That's not helpful, Mr. Shlomes. Heaven forgive me. The words just came to my lips. Alright, your lodgers. Some fishy fellow from the Far East and the failed actor chapter of questionable character, eh? There's no need for that, Mr. Garadeb. That's right. Mr. Natsume is no way fishy. Here's a... Alright, I told the agency immediately after the previous tenant passed away. Yes, that's right. I asked the estate agents to find Soren and he popped up the very same day. Never come across a chap so keen for a place with a background, as it were. I don't think it was the room's background he was keen on so much as the cheap rent, actually. So, how long has Mr. Shamspear been lodging under your roof? A failed actor chap? Let me see. Oh, of course. It's been 3 months now, quite sure of it. Only 3 months? He's quite new here too, then. And to what do you owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Garadeb? Well, it was that Selden scoundrel as that happened. Selden, the convict, you mean? Do Selden and Shamspear have some kind of connection then? Oh god. Alright. Shamspear's tenancy. A convict chap, Selden, passed away in the cling 3 months ago now, you see. Some malady or something, of course. Yes, we've seen the report from the newspaper at the time. Well, it was only 3 days later that the tragedian showed his face. The actor fell. I said that wrong, sorry. Really? Yes, I remember it quite distinctly. Alright, here we go. It's small, this world we inhabit. The landlord, hear my request. I, the humble Shamspear, do desire to take my room on the middle floor offered erewhile for rent. I'm terribly sorry and whatnot, but that won't be possible. I already have a lodger on the middle floor. Ground floor's room vacant, though. Nothing can be made out of nothing. Let me repeat mine will unto thee. Those curls must be muffing your ears. The room on the middle floor is taken. It's ground floor, nothing. Very well, we have an accord. That's a hearing. Welcome to Briar Road. Hello, a Shamspear dance to celebrate? I don't like that dance. I don't like that dance. What I heard in the court today sounds like the chap was thieving gas. Yeah, it was. And he was 3 months in arrears. The rent too. Yes, the fellow was a volley player, alright. Thank you for your condor, Mr. Garadeb. We are most grateful. By way of appreciation, allow me to say 1 or 2 words. Give me my robe. Put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me. What's happened to you? Shakespeare, my dear fellow, one of his most famous lines. I wish to divulge my own learning of the subject, for I have a turn for literature too, you know? Perhaps you could turn your attention to more apt lines then. By my Thesa. How about the Mercurio? What's his name? Mercurio? That's his name, right? What a cool name. Was it Mercutio? I think it's Mercutio, actually. That's even a cooler name. Mercutio. He was a real G. Especially in the in the Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio. Alright, we'll show him the photo of this guy. Is that your son who was with you there? Oh, no, not all. He was a lodger here once. Duncan Ross was his name. There we go. Duncan Ross. Street photographer happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shot. Just for kicks, really. Was he by any chance the lodger before Mr. Natsume? Oh, don't tell me he's dead. Yes, that's right. Oh, he is dead. The young gentleman who died in the room in mysterious circumstances. He died from gas? Just what Mr. Mustache was waiting for, one might say. Yes, young Duncan lived in the room at the top of the first flight of stairs before the Japanese chap. Would you mind telling us a little more about him? Alright, here it comes. The lodger's death. Yes, Duncan Ross. Young chap was attending art school. Had to work to pay for it, mind. Moved in the middle floor room about a year ago after that criminal Selden was arrested. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them. History behind them. History. The history of Tree Ren, maybe, yes. Yes, well, anyway, it was one morning about a month ago now. I hadn't quite worked out the old trick of watching the gas lamps to see what my lodgers are up to at the time. So sadly, I was rather tired to discover what had happened. Smell of gas that altered me, it was. Ah yes, synonymous. The smell of death. Called the police straight away, of course, and the officer kicked the door off its hinges. But once we got outside, we all bodily collapsed. Because the gas? Yes, the room was full of it. No air at all. Stove must have gone out while the poor chap was sleeping in his bed. The Mr. Ross suffocated to death, or died peacefully in his sleep, possibly. Plus the police gave me a sound... Or maybe not, actually. Yeah, you have a dream of getting suffocated. Yeah, you got... Probably not the best way to go out on. Gave me a sound ticking. Of course, because the gas mains was so old and all. I tell you how much it sent me back to have the lot replaced all over the house. Even after you had all that work done, Mr. Natsume says the same thing. It's that the stove goes out of night whilst he sleeps in bed. Well, that's the Bolly curse, the convict's curse. I've done my duty as a landlord now. And someone's feeling defensive. Yeah, you should actually check if... You should stay in this room, bro. That reminds me, actually. About young Duncan, the night before the poor chap perished. He's been writing a letter of affection to a young lady. A love letter, you mean? Oh, no. Yes, where did I put it now? Oh, is it the book? Yeah, here it is, left on my desk. If you excuse me? Let me see now, what does it say? To my most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Do you think we should be reading such a personal piece of correspondence? My dear Mrs. Sato, that is precisely why I prefaced my reading with, if you'll excuse me. I will not excuse you, Mr. Shlomes, no. Sadly, he didn't address it, though. So, I've no means of delivering the thing. Rather sad, really. I think it's olive green, 100%. I see. That's going to play on my mind. Yeah, that's going to play on my mind. Really, dear, that your Mr. Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case. I think we should leave well alone. Yes, I suppose you're right. Indeed, the intended recipient's dress is missing. However, there is a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart. OG. Mr. Shlooms, please. I already had to chastise you about it. My underlying love to you, my colorful darling. Olive green. Ah. Olive green. The woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife plunged into her back outside the house 5 days ago. The victim of the last case, Suzeki-san, was in court for you. We're getting close to the known. Yeah. Is there a chance that an angel is coming up now? Could it possibly be a mere coincidence? Miss Nahodo. Whatever can this mean? Reading personal correspondence can have its merits, you see, Mrs. Sato. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ho ho ho. Are we going? Yeah, to the hospital we go. Alright, we're making headway here. Oh, don't tell me she's not in. You gotta be kidding. But you're having a giraffe. It's now Hoddo. I've just finished speaking with the doctor. It seems Miss Green is well enough to discharge at last. This is good news. But hopefully, just before she leaves. Ah, wizard. Oh. Whoa! Miss Green! What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back. She was about to kill herself, possibly. Hey! One minute, I'll be with you in a jiffy. Oh no, she just put it back. Ah. Oh, hello everyone. What are you all doing here? The doctor says I can be discharged, so I'm getting my things together. What were you just drinking, Miss Green? What were you just doing? Oh, nothing, really. I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed me for. Wait, this is cyanide. Well, we were just hoping to have another quick chat with you, if that's alright. I don't really have anything else to tell you. Alright, she's definitely behaving strangely. Let's see if we could coax something out of her. Can coax something out of her. From top, hospital discharge. Wonderful news that you're going to be discharged, Miss Green. Oh yes, I mean, thank you. Most people are better. The hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me, anyway. So I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. I probably shouldn't stand around and chat. He certainly does seem to be in the mood to talk. That's for sure. Oops. Hit the wrong button. Don't mind me. I'll present her some evidence. How about this picture? Miss Green, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Duncan Ross. You knew him, didn't you? Oh, no, I'm so sorry. The bottle of medicine fell down where she did. Oh, Miss Green, are you alright? Oh, she just, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to style you like that. No, it's alright. I just wasn't expecting it. How do you know about Duncan? Mr. Ross had been writing a letter when he passed away. The landlord found it in his room. It's a very personal letter to you. It was at the art school. That's when I met Duncan, a year ago now. He's working to fund his studies. He dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day. And the two of you became romantically involved? Yes, that's right. We were very much in love. We were engaged to be married, actually. That's why he decided to move into a cheaper room to save money for the wedding. And that's what led him to Mr. Gowdeb's. Yes, he told me he found the worst but cheapest room in the entire East End. Then 1 month ago, that's when it happened. I'm so terribly sorry, Miss Green. Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose. Poor Miss Green. Looks desperately sad. I was starting to think that's just her luck. Now I see that she has every reason to feel the universe is against her. I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but... Would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon. Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course. We'll be on our way. Mr. Naruhodo. Alright. I thought it was... Mr. Naruhodo. Gee, you're not about to leave. That's quite out of the question. Mr. Shrooms. Didn't realize you were here. And of course I was, my dear fellow. Oh shit, the mouse is dead. Have you seen the background? The mouse is dead. Make your presence known. That was poison. Mr. Shalom's, what's this about? Something which occurs to me with some regularity, Mrs. Ida, is this. Oh, he's got a deduction. I have a feeling he's doing some deduction after this. Alright, let me just let me just take a drink. A little swig. Alright. You can do Mr. Naruto? No, you can. What's going on? Huh? What's going on? I thought we were doing a deduction. Alright. We got some clues. Yeah, this fucking rat is dead. Or mouse. Mouse seemed to be dead. Look. I didn't notice that before. Did you? I think perhaps we drank the medicine that spilled the bottle. Yeah, what's the bottle? That's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived. You don't think. Ah, I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. Yes, I think it's falling into place. I don't think we're done yet. Screen, the contents of the vial you had before has spilled onto the floor. And the poor mouse that drank it has sadly died. Ah. I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison. Oh, Miss Green. Don't worry, I will attend to the mouse presently. Why you attend to the mouse? Remove it from the premise, it seems like. Screen, will you intend to go the same way as the rodent? Take your own life? Ah. Once we laugh, you would have to put your lips again, wouldn't you? And take the poison. No. Screen, please. Please talk to us. And this, yeah, this, well, whatever this is. It's as though this can must be relevant. When we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand in what could only be described as a very tense atmosphere. Yes, it may very well be related to whatever instant Mr. Sloane's believed was about to take. I need a stool in front of me, I think. I feel like. Oh, we've done that apparently. I guess the picture of Duncan Ross, yeah. Or do we talk to her? I think we may have to talk to her. I'll track, yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. Two things. Suicide. 10 seconds later, and we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we would not have enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Mr. Green. Actually, in a way, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted. Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine? Just nicked it. Nicked it. Damn, that's pretty British. If you nicked something. With this being in hospital and all, when the doctor comes to examine me in the morning, he always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I snuck this out when he wasn't looking. It conspicuously lacks the label. I wonder what it contains. I thought if I drank it, it might stop the pain somehow. Oh god. Oh please, Miss Green. Don't talk of such things. Well, it seems clear now that it contains poison. Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that. Oh no. Oh, it's all my fault. What have I done? I shall remove this to my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objection? No, none. Alright, the card. What day is it? 30th. I think I have to do a little test. Because I want to stream some games, but I want to put it on the right. You know, I should do it. Oh no, I won't do it now. Yeah, because this might destroy the whole stream. Neither the sender's name or address appears to be written on the envelope or the card. Oh, this envelope, I've seen it in the thing. It arrived by post at home the day before the incident that put me in the hospital here. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 PM on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting, and that's how she got stabbed, right? It is a matter of utmost importance. Maybe Mr. Shamspeare has something to do with this. Wait a minute, the 17th of this month. That's the day you were stabbed on Briar Road. And 5 PM. It's precisely the time when the incident occurred. Slug and Salad, yes. A pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Briar Road being the street that Mr. Gaideb's house is on. Does this mean that... I'm sure you've guessed that day when I was struck in the back by the knife. I was actually on my way to the slug and salad. Goodness. This is what you were doing on Briar Road that day. I'm sorry I didn't say anything before. I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now. I've told you everything. Yes, I'm very sorry to have you had to drag up something such. I have to do that. Yes, some painful memories for you. No, it's fine. Miss Green. Please, promise us you won't try to do anything like that again. Yes, don't worry. Your detective friend has the ball now anyway. Besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a ball of poison and I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. It might sound a little how do you say that? Conscient? Conscient. We'll find out. Let me see. I know the word. Like a bit. Yep. All right. Wait. Hold on.
Conceit.
Conceit. Conceit. Is that it? Maybe that I learned to pronounce. Wait. Hold on.
Conceit.
All right. Hold on. How to present conceit. Conceited. Yeah. There we go.
Conceited.
Conceited. Conceited. Conceited. Yeah. Well, that's how all this has made me feel. Conceited. Conceited. Conceit? Conceited. Yeah. Even Miss Green and St. Bartholomew's behind. We made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Only 40 minutes has passed. I think we're going to go into another courtroom though. I don't think we're going to finish it this session. Feels like next session. Well, Mr. Howard, maybe we could finish it in this... Alright, I'll try to finish it in this session, I guess. Feels about Mr. Shamspeare, Mr. Gary Deb's lodgings, the convict, Selden. There are many facts. Facets to this case. And we're yet to see the heart of it. That's my feeling anyway. Oh, you can see a bit of the snow falling. I can't help wondering about the results of the analysis. Into Mr. Natame's tea, you mean? Yes, will they have found strychnine? Or strychnine, I think. In it or not? Well, I fear that either way, it will be hard to escape the grip of our friend, Mr. Reaper. Oh dear. Yes, by Rock Van Ziegs. I wish you every success, of course. And though I was late to rise this morning. Tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed at a crisp hour and attend the trial. Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come? Indeed, whatever happens, I shall be there. Assuming my eyelids cooperate in the morning. Well, I think we've done all we can. All that's left is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natame's cause until the very end. London, the world's most prosperous city, home to 6 million people. But away from that razzle-dazzle down back alleys and behind bricked up windows, the lonely lurk. Zeki-san had battled long and hard with loneliness during his many months here. And so I felt honored, bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot, to lift the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Slum said, tomorrow would be a new dawn for all of us. Oh man. Oh, you can see my mouse there. Yeah, there's to be continue. What day is it today? 30th. Yeah, let's save it back on 4 again here. And work our way back down. It's the 23rd of February, guys. 9:23 a.m. The Old Bailey. Alright, let me take a drink. Whoa, Sasaki, right in front of us. That's a good thumbnail as well. Alright, the miserable curse I've been plaguing Mr. Natsume to everything. In my own small way, I shall do everything I can to help you. I always appreciate your help, Mrs. Otto. Suffering Sasaki selfishly sidelined. Ah. Good morning to you, Mr. Natsume. Good morning. Good morning, locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire. This is you two chatting away happily as if the main player of the today's trial isn't here. Why would you do that? Why? Oh dear, we didn't mean to cause offense, Mr. Natsume. I thought perhaps that because of your eyes shut so tightly, you were meditating, finding inner calm. It seemed wrong to disturb you. I was waiting. What's the matter, Mr. Natsume? You seem different somehow today. Why, naturally, that's because I've attained spiritual alignment. The path of literature, you see, is a journey to discover one's own death. Or such like. That's the sort of morning conversation I was hoping for. That's why I had my eyes shut. I missed the signs, I'm afraid. Somehow. You have to forgive me. Yeah, this game doesn't run on 60, right? I mean, you can see... Yeah. Maybe I should have done something. Never mind. This game runs in 30, if you guys were wondering. But it does run better than the last time where we used the game capture. I was sure you abandoned me and returned to your beautiful long-lost homeland. You've not even been in Great Britain a week yet. Yes, well, anyway. I intend to set everything straight in court today. I'm determined to uncover the truth. I've actually reached an important decision myself. Oh, what sort of decision? I shall fill you in after the trial. Alright. It would seem Mr. Sholmes isn't come today after all. It's a very clever message, I think. My dear fellows, you must win this battle on your own merits. It's a very clear message, I think, that he overslept again. The great detective, my arch nemesis. Long may he stay away, if you ask me. Defendant and your legal representative. I clipped it. I clipped it. Sorry, guys. With my tongue. My cheek, I mean. I'm gonna auto it here. Yeah. Auto it. Stretch my neck a bit. Look up, look down, look all around. I think that should be alright. Close this tab. I'm just closing tabs, don't worry about me. Might as well just close all those tabs. Okay. Back. Yeah, the same Jerry. Sorry if you heard some like weird mouth noise. Like I burped or something. It wasn't meant to be. I guess pardon me, but I didn't really burp. Alright, the defense is ready. Very good. I'll now call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Chosen by a lot to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to proceed? Absolutely. Justice will be done. You mark my words. I feel obliged to say I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat is sitting just right. Oh, well, I wonder if you could adjust my hat for me. And please, be as ruthless as you like. These deserve to die, if you ask me, especially gas thieves. I have no sympathy for the man at all. Look, I said it yesterday, I'll say it again now. I don't have time for this. I've got my own problems. Oh, guy. Oh, may the Lord show us the light here and lead his flock to the righteous virgin again there. Now, Lord Ranzis, what can you tell us? Prosecution's report, please, for the court. In relation to the theory expounded by the defense yesterday regarding the defendant's tea. So he does have the results. Alright, let's see. Before the prosecution delivers the black news about the black tea belonging to the black guard in the dock. Is he gonna throw that away? Wait, allow me a moment to save a liquid of a more sanguine hue. How do you say that? Was it the good detective? I'll find out. Sanguine.
Sanguine.
Alright. Well, what is the meaning of it? Consisting of rain blood. Is that it? Yeah. Of sanguine nature. Okay. Here's to you, Inspector. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Alright. As indicated by the defense, we found a bar of soap just outside the victim's window in the snow. And there was indeed a frozen reddish liquid in a little depression on top of it. Yes, that's the tea. That's what Mr. Natsume brought with him that night. Well, the brains of the yard analyzed it, and yes, you're right, it was tea. And there was a trace of strychnine. There wasn't a trace of strychnine. Alright, good. No poison at all. That's in our favor. In other words, the tea that the defendant brought with him into the victim's room is innocent. It's in the clear. What a revelation. What's the new theory here? As I suspected. Alright. This makes it quite clear. The defendant, Mr. Suzuki Natsume, is blameless. My learned friend is jumping to conclusions again. A typical Nipponese reaction. What? Yes, it's true. No poison was found in the few drops of the liquid recovered from the soap on the window ledge. But what logic is that? Would you take a drop from the Thames to conclude that the water in the ocean isn't salty? My word, the water in the ocean is extremely salty, Counsel. Exactly. Unfit for drinking. Just as the victim's tea was on the night in question, as the court has already heard. Bitter was the precise word from the lips of Mr. William Shakespeare. Alright, you can have bitter tea. Calm down, will you? Whom the prosecution now calls back to the stand. Easy now, you can have bitter tea. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's request. Mr. Shakespeare. Yes, it sounds like we're going to have another confrontation with our theatrical friend. Bailiff, show Mr. Shakespeare to the stand. Shakespeare. Bailiff. Bail. Right, there he is. Mr. William Shakespeare, the victim of this despicable crime. Oh heaven, oh hell, do you command me to remember? Forsooth that 'twas I, Shakespeare, that had a bellyful of the foul fluid given in mine innocence. Yes, but as was revealed in yesterday's proceedings, the witness is not as innocent as we had perhaps been led to believe, yeah. By using bars of soap such as this, has been stealing gas from the supply company, yes. One may smile and be a villain. Forsooth was I, Shakespeare, did have a roomful of the sweet fuel given. That's right, fellow jurors, don't forget, this man is a wrong thief. I haven't forgotten, kept all about the ice coins a tidy secret, did you? You should have owned up sooner. Arrest him, I say, arrest him at once, and let him feel the sting in my tail. Oh, indeed, by dint of vile and cowardly means I have plotted to further mine own ends, I confess. Thou wouldnst not pardon my sins, of that I am sure. If you acknowledge your wrongdoing, what exactly are you doing here? Cowards die many times before their deaths. And for a coward such as I, death be well deserved. But would it that a still greater crime passeth unpunished? For lo, the hairy-faced gentleman of Father East and Verona did contrive to poison me. But there was no poison in the team found in your room. The police has attested to that. What the defense would assert as an inconsistency will quickly be cleared up by the witness testimony. Is that not so, Mr. Shakespeare? Verily, my liege, I would not most gladly speak. Okay. Does he do that dance both sides, it looks like? He does that on both sides, right? Left side and right side, no? Tea inconsistency. Japanese, oh maybe not actually. The Japanese man did come to my chamber with tea brewed in my pot. What's in my cup alone that the wicked miscreant secretly poured his wicked poison? Whilst feigning distraction in our debate, near did a drop of his own drink past his lips. When he departed by and by, he did use the tea that remained in his cup to make my coins of ice. It's no surprise that the poison be not found in the tea. Huh? I'm so confused. What the fuck? The what? The poison was slipped into the cup after the tea had been poured. Alright. The normal way for poison to be administered in my experience. Alright. Otherwise it would be disastrous if the poisoner were to mix up the cups, for instance. No poison bottle was found at the scene. Because quite simply, the Nipponese took the bottle back to his own room. The absence of a vessel containing the poison only becomes problematic when considering suicide. Ugh, I knew that. And now it should be perfectly clear. A bar or two of cheap soap is wholly insufficient to wash the deep stains of guilt from the accused's hands. Ah. Sirs, madams, this true that I, Shakespeare, be a common thief of gas. But, listen here, ladies and gentlemen. Wherefore would I lie? Verily. I have no cause. I have naught to lose. Well, I do declare. Thank you for your testimony, witness. I don't get the fucking testimony. What? Yes, my lord. What's the testimony? I don't get the testimony, huh? The Japanese man did come to my chambers with tea brewed in a pot. 'Twas in my cup alone that the wicked miscreant secretly poured his wicked poison. Yeah. 'Twas in my cup, the wicked. Alright. Whilst feigning distraction in the vein, never did drop his... Alright, but he drank it instantly, right? It was found completely empty at the scene. Let's not forget the defendant's maximum. Drink tea while it's hot. I did gulp from the poison cup that night, and in mine agony did I writhe uncontrolled. In fits of pain, I did knock the fellow's cup, and his contents split as blood from a gaping wound, methinks. So suddenly, 'twas after I made the coins of ice from his tea. An upset cup was found on the table that the victim slumped over. There is no contradiction here. It's true, there was no tea left in either cup when we found it at the scene. But still, something about this statement is troubling me. Yes, of course, I know what it is. It's Mr. Natsume wise drink tea while it's hot maximum, isn't it? No, I'm not sure that's it. No, I'm not sure that's it. Thank you, witness. Now reiterate for the call what it is that occupied you after your guest had left and before you drank your tea. When he departed by, I did use the tea that remained in his cup to make the coins of ice. That's true. Yeah, so that you can cheat the gas company, in fact. Isn't that right? To cheat or to die? That is the question. Oh no, this is life's only choice. Yes. Faith to cheat be the wise choice, and mine occupation be not as an ugly one. Prithee, dost thou not see beauty in the simplicity of the ruse? No, I don't. And be very sure, sir, once this trial is over, Altamont Gas will take you to task over this legal task. I shall not run. I shall not hide. Sooth to say, I have nowhere to run, nor to hide. But my lady, what wouldst thou with this pitiful player? Oh, I'll tell you what I'd like you to do, or like to do with you. Stand with the shoddy shirt on your back. It's time for our Shakespeare dance. What a harsh world we live in. Thieving of the gas was addressed in yesterday's proceeding. The prosecution calls on the defense not to muddy the waters with irrelevancy. Consider that a warning, counsel. Alright, my lord. Am I the one in trouble here? Mr. Shakespeare, after the accused returned to his own lodgings, he used his tea to make your coins. Is that correct? To cheat or to die, I did make my choice many moons ago. Thus, this is no surprise that the poison be not found in the tea I did pour into the molds of soap. Oh, could have done that. So it's been proven that there was no poison in Soseki's tea. That should be hugely in our favor. But the atmosphere in the courtroom today feels as though everybody's against us, Mr. Naruhodo. It must be the Reaper's poison. I'm afraid that we don't find a significant flaw in this testimony somewhere. The jury will pounce and find... Pounce? I guess we press like every statement here. I understand you're already acquainted with Mr. Natsume, is that correct? I know thee not, old man. Full to thy prayers. Do I know thee or know thee not? Methinks this is all I can know, that thy destiny mingles with mine. You lost me at the first thee. Zounds, sir. Thou must learn English tongue afore thou turns thy hand. Alright, hold on. Alright. I did, but I must have missed the mechanic Elizabeth lecture. Verily and in truth, the twas a finely flavored brood. Though a drop of poison did barb its sweetness, as the thorn doth barb the sweet rose. That, dear friends, be the simple truth. This is to Mr. Shamspeare. Seems in an even better position. Even better one? Either that or I'm in worse form. Alright, that faded evening after I did dine. Local ale house. Nor did pass my lips but the tainted black tea. Behold, the poison was not in the tea at first. It was in my cup alone that the wicked mischief... I don't even know where the contradiction is. Are you saying that you saw the moment when the poison was added to your tea? To have witnessed the act and then drank the tea, thus described the actions of a fool. Quite so, quite so. But no one likes going thirsty, do they? Actually, on the night in question, the water main was frozen, I believe, wasn't it? Were it not for the tea, I soothed it, in soothe, it would sooner be frozen than quenched and parched. Right. No house coins means no heating. The victim had more than one brush. Seems like... We said? One or more brush? Mind the comment, Mr. Swanshaw, as to whether the accused drank any of the tea which he brought. With greatest pleasure, my liege. Whilst, we'll do the last statement here. Can you not skip that? Alright. If having first made your special coins, it was after 2 in the morning, that would mean you can't have drunk any tea yourself around that time. Once ensnared by literary debate, nothing, not of cells in the fuzz to my mind. Yeah, the debate of Romeo and Juliet, I mean, who was stronger of the two. Rightly did I pay no heed to the tea as I wrestled with the admirable fellow. I don't remember debates like that when I was studying. Are you suggesting that neither of you actually drank the tea whilst it was hot that evening? Husband and wife and tea. Wait. That is a contradiction now. Everyone has different preferences when it comes to tea. I think you might have interpreted that wrongly. Huh. There was no poison in Suzuki's tea. Wait, hold on. Maybe because it was in order, that's why. Yeah. Alright, so there's a contradiction somewhere here. Let's check the evidence here. Alright, let's see what the evidence... It must be something like here. He said he spilt it, right? I think it might be this one. And then the picture here. Objection. Nope, that's not it. Isn't that his cup? He not found? I don't understand. Didn't he pour it in the thing? It must be either one here, right? Past his lips. Might be this. Oh, maybe there's a examination here we could see. No.
Objection.
All right, I got it. I think he claimed that Mr. Natsume didn't drink a drop of tea. In question. It was all wrong. But that's impossible. How? Chop logic. What is this? Ye dark, ye clad fiend. Damn, that was hard to... you there. I have a clear difference. That one that represents incontrovertible proof. Incontrovertible? Alright. Yes, a tea ring. Commonplace enough. Yeah, indeed. Such stains occurred. Yeah, isn't Mr. Natsume's cup the one on the right? The green one, right? I'm a bit confused here. Yet he had no such ring. Yeah, but didn't say he spilled it. Well, it didn't say anything. Maybe we'll show the picture afterwards when he claims so. Drink tea while it's hot. That's it. Seems like the jury knows the Japanese way. The jittery Mr. Natsume was true to his self. That he drank the tea in no time. He didn't drop a... Yeah, a ring would have developed. Alright. Okay, that makes sense. I get where this is coming from. Alright, in short, Mr. Shamswear, you clearly lied to the court once again. Don't forget.
Objection!
He's gonna throw that chalice. As a rule, I fill my hollow chalice up to 7 times during any one trial. You might want to keep that information to yourself. Yeah, on the occasion. Alright, a paw. Alright. To William Shamspeare. Yes, my liege? Though you previously stated that you made the coins of ice from the leftover tea in the accused cup. Could it be that you were perhaps mistaken? Yeah, he used his own cups. Well, that just proves that... Yeah, that just proves could it be some small tea remaining in a teapot, he says. The fact that had vanished from your memory until now? Oh no. Oh yes, yeah, let me rejig my brain. Faith, my liege, thou art the magician. For verily, 'tis as though thou hast seen with thine own eyes, with something. Forsooth, I was mistook. I did plan to use the tea from the Japanese fellow's cup below, when I looked, 'twas empty. And thus did I use the dregs to fester in the teapot as my liege did success. And you just suddenly remember now that you made a mistake before. Ah, my cheek hurts, man. I think I really screwed up my cheek here. The victim's most recent testimony tells us 2 things are known. Alright, and secondly, that the spoiled cup was not a sauce. Alright. Takes off the cloak. The inconsistency claimed by the defense simply does not exist. Alright. Wait, what was it? What was he going for? I do declare it means that there's no issue with the gas thief's testimony. What? Apart from the bit about even gas, obviously. My lords, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I do solemnly swear. After I did dine at Grubb's Grubbery Ale House that night, nor did pass my lips. Alright, why I did partake of my favorites. Broth as wouldn't be called a soup and the leaf as wouldn't be called a salad. as insalubrious a menu as the establishment was served. Did your God's will fold? Alright, some faults. Alright. To make us men. Willing would I suffer what punishment this see fit? To serve a wicked fifth thief of gas burn? I pray ye wise and noble. Noble fellas, never forget the simple truth. This being one thing and this be another. Alright, seems like it's convinced some people, the jury. Jurors and all, your humble servant Shamspear doth entreat you. Punish the Japanese fellow for his sins. My lord! Alright, if I may speak, my lord. Alright. Yes, Mr. Farmer? I believe we may have been duped by the wrong defense lawyer. Oh, no, again. By me? I do declare you may be right. Alright, I see where this is going. What, is everyone going to say guilty? They've reached a decision. We won't be swayed from it. The court acknowledges. Yeah, I'm just going to let it play.
Guilty!
Don't tell me everyone says guilty.
Guilty!
Not juror number 4. Alright, apparently so.
Guilty! Guilty!
I guess everyone's focused on the case at hand, eh? Some nation examination, it seems like. Once again. Oh, happy day. Oh, is this happening? My lord, the defense asserts his right to carry the summation examination. Jurors, the court calls upon each of you to state the grounds on which you found the defendant guilty. All right, so we've got to do a lot of pressing here. Yeah, it was a bit weird the last time we did this. We lost a lot of life. A man of logic, me, and having considered all the evidence, the defendant must logically be guilty. I do agree that gas is far too expensive. I can understand why the man would want to avoid paying. Stuff explodes and it can poison you. It's absolutely lethal gas, it is. Gas doesn't come free. Costs a fortune to deliver around the city to maintain the pipes. Truth be told, the tea my wife serves up to me is a little sketchy at times. There's nothing else past the victim's list that night. There's no other explanation, is there? 6 sounds a bit interesting. About gas in his supply. Never mind. He might have been knocked out by the gas for all we know. The truth is, our counter argument wasn't as assailable as we hoped. And Mr. Shamspear was poisoned. There can be no doubt of that. And how are we supposed to turn this around? I think we need to establish this method by which Mr. Shamspear was already poisoned. Or actually poisoned. Was it already or actually? Actually poisoned. I hope it's to demonstrate to the court incontrovertibly that that's surely almost impossible at this stage. If we don't manage it though, Miss Natsume will be found guilty. No delays, counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Alright. Does that mean that the victim could be shown to have ingested something else? You change your leaning. Huh? Sorry? What's that now? Oh, I was just saying if the victim didn't actually eat or drink something else on the night. What's the matter with you? Sorry? I said if nothing else passed the victim's lips that night, there's no other explanation, is there? Haven't you been listening to me at all? I feel there's an English expression about a pot and a kettle that's appropriate here. Don't something when the kettle's hot. Yeah, the old man has been listening to the proceeding far more intently. I suppose the trouble is he has selective hearing. Exactly, but still, the juror may well be the key to breakthrough we desperately need. Alright, this is hopeless. Alright, I guess it... Mr. Chancery has really been poisoned, yeah. Yeah, we need to find another way that he got poisoned by. How about the gas? It must be the gas, right? Perhaps you might have forgotten. To watch everyone involved to pursue people. Alright, we gotta tell him. I'll be more happy to, of course. Once again, Suzeki-san's fate is entirely in my hands here. I'll probably owe it to my client to hear any advice my assistant may be offering. But that's all to let Suzaku-san remind me then again. No need. It's vital that we start trying to change these jurors' minds as soon as possible. Yeah, this one's an interesting one. Gas. Can we please talk about the poison rather than the gas, do you think? Well, if you like. I mean, to be honest, I take poison over gas every time. You can get gas poisoning, right? What I mean is, poison can only poison you. It doesn't explode, doesn't it? Goodness me, what are you talking about? Set him straight, please, lawyer man. Well, it's certainly true that poison isn't prone to exploding. But I think you'll find poison also can light or heat up in the room. Ah, you're right. I hadn't considered that at all. Young lawyer man. Yes? You have a good head on your shoulders. We could use someone like you as our company's legal representative. Well, I wasn't expecting to pick up more business in the middle of a trial, that's for sure. Anyway, the point is, I haven't had the best experience with gas companies in the past. Alright. Does he have something else? Oh no. Oh. Gas doesn't come for free. It costs for a fortune to deliver around the city and maintain the pipes. It might be 2 and 4 here. Who knows? Can we please refrain from all the talk of gas? There's an all-out attack on the way here in case you hadn't noticed against my company's gas. I'm supposed to sit here and take it, am I? I don't think so. Yeah, she's really buzzing now. All I heard about our wonderful fuel is explosions and poisonings. What about electricity, huh? What about getting electrocuted? What about that? What about the electricians? A little explosion here and there is nothing in comparison. Any explosion could hardly be described as nothing, madame. Nevertheless, the theft of gas is deplorable. My point exactly. I need to rinse my mouth, man. It feels a bit sore. I don't know, with salt water or... I'll try mouthwash first. Other gas companies, of course. Other gas companies? Not quite what I was expecting. We generate gas and we deliver it to customers fair and square. Indeed, nobody is questioning that, madame. Osmar is the exemplary gas company. But there are other unscrupulous gas companies here in London that doesn't have any gas at all. What? But if they don't have any gas, how do they go about selling it to people? They don't. Yeah, you wouldn't think it's possible, would you? They steal our gas, you see, and sell that. They steal your gas. How on earth is such a thing possible? Gas companies like ours deliver gas to people's homes via network pipes. These devious probates secretly disconnect our pipes and divert our gas into their own rotten pipes. Then they make a contract with the household supplied by those pipes and take money for the precious gas that's rightfully ours without us even knowing. They're diverting gas into their own pipes illegally. What a brazen form of theft. When we visit customers' houses to collect money from their meters, we always have to check whether or not one of these devious companies have enough to trace what's happening here. German number 3. Do you have something to say about that, German number 3? Oh, golly, you mean me? I mean, I'm terribly sorry. I was just thinking to myself. I really did catch him off guard there. About what the lady next to you was saying, correct? Well, yes. I just got a little riled about it recently, you see. Go on. An ultimate gas worker visited my house the other day to investigate the pipe work. We need to ask you for cooperation while we carry out a secret check of your property, sir, the fellow said. So I let him in. Do you know what he did? I'm afraid I have no idea. I bet he moved the pipe somewhere, yeah. He proceeded to take one of my lights off the wall, then grab the exposed mouth of the pipe and start blowing into it. What do you think you're doing, young man? You're giving away company secrets there. Oh, please, everybody knows. But it was very nearly the death of me, I can tell you. What do you mean? I'll explain, if you don't mind. Company secrets? As I said before, these unscrupulous other gas companies connect their customers to our pipe network. Yes, but how does blowing into the pipes come into it? Obviously, there's gas in the pipes, and it's at a very low pressure. By blowing air through the pipe, you can make the pressure drop temporarily. And if you do that, any lights connected to the same pipe will flicker for a moment. Ah, I see. In other words, if upon blowing into the pipe, the lights of an adjacent property that has no contract with your company flicker. This is interesting. You can know that these devious scoundrels have been meddling with the pipes. Exactly, my lord. Alright, let's see what it says. If upon blowing, the lights of the adjacent pipe that has no contract with your company flicker. Alright, I see. It's the reason why we have teams of workers going around neighborhoods to investigate which lights flicker. The trouble is, the particular worker who came to my house didn't know the strength of his own breath. He blew down the pipe with all his might, and you can guess what happened, can you? Well, if he blew hard, then... Wait, you mean... That's right, the lights didn't just flicker, they went out. Along with the stove, gas started pouring into the house. What a disaster. Gas supply must have been interrupted briefly because the man blew too hard, so the flames went out. I'm afraid I yelled at the fellow. Are you trying to kill us all, I said? So by disconnecting a lamp and blowing into the exposed gas pipe, it's possible that to extinguish lamps' stove connected to the same network of pipes. And then when the gas starts flowing again, it just silently seeps into the room. I think perhaps, yes. This is almost certainly the clue we've been hoping for. To who, though? Jump number 3. The first request that you amend your statement to include that information. Oh, well, if you like, I don't mind. Well, I do. That's our company's secret method of identifying the rogues. Alright, like I said, madame, it's widely known already. Yeah. Very well, Joe number 3. You will amend your statement accordingly. Yes, my lord, although I'm not sure what the point of all this is. Blow too hard and you extinguish everything in the house. Now let's see what it says. Is it 3 and 6? I'll try.
Objection.
There we go. Those two statements clearly contradict with each other. Good gracious. To whose statement you refer, counsel? German number 6. Did you hear what German number 3 just said? What? Yes, of course. I heard him mumbling about something or another. There is another explanation here, I believe. Something besides Mr. Nasume's T did, in a manner of speaking, pass the victim's list on the night in question. What? What explanation? I wonder, did the police check the mouth of the gas pipe feeding the wall light at the scene? See if there were any traces of poison there. I was curious to see what your floundering would result in this time. But the mouth of a gas pipe? Scotland Yard have enough to do without exploring such irrelevance. All did. What a piece of work. Is a man. What are you trying to say, Mr. Shamspeare? What speakest thou? Fifteen is not strange and strange. This is what I say to thee, sir. I thought I'd been quite clear. Let me put it another way. The strychnine could have been on the mouth of the gas pipe that feeds the wall lamp in your room. And that is how the poison came to enter your body. Good lord. Alright. Are they tasty then? Gas pipes? Is that what he's saying? Oh, this is the gentleman suggesting that the poor man was so desperately hungry he tried to fill his belly with gas. Perhaps no actress would perform a kiss scene with him, huh? For shame, madame. Speaking to the fancy. I assure you, I'm not such a buffoon that I have kissed the pipes.
Objection.
Have to kiss the pipes. Alright. This is no summation examination. This is a farce. The prosecution will not stand for any more of my learned Lipanese friend conjecture. Having then a new drink? To begin with, the lamp in the victim's room is high up on the wall. In order to place his lips to the pipe that feeds it, he would have been a contortionist. These are empty assertions. There's no possible proof that the man did, as you say. I think we do. I can say with certainty that on multiple occasions, Mr. Shamshire has been doing something in front of the lamp on his wall. Yeah, we got evidence. And I have evidence to prove it. Alright, you've got attention, lad. I like to see how you can be so sure of yourself. So would I. Let's see this evidence then. Now that I've got the jury's ear, I need to make this opportunity count. Yeah, I think I got it. Time and time again, that Shamshire stood in front of his lamp. Not that. Oh, actually, it might be that. I think it's this, actually, yeah.
Take that.
I think this is more evidence. What the? These are... Wait. What are they called? Yes, skin prints that were found at the scene. Skin prints, counsel. I've never heard of such things. The Justice Ministry is currently assessing whether or not to permit fingerprints as evidence in the court, however. My lord, this is an exciting new forensic technique developed by the great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It reveals all of the places that Mr. Shamshire touched in his room. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, that's black magic, isn't it? Well, if anyone could invent something like this, yeah, it's the great Sholmes fellow, that's for sure. I agree. This was addition of the engineering thumbs was quite fascinating. Found skin prints in many places that you would expect on the table, on the costumes. However, Mr. Shamshire also appears to have been touching some very unexpected places in his room. For example, here. According to the hanging picture there, indeed, multiple handprints appear to be visible. Well, I wonder, could he have been appreciating the artwork perhaps? At first, my colleagues and I thought the same, however. Imagine standing with your hands where those prints are, and you would find yourself directly in front of... Ah! I don't believe it. The gas lamp. Though the reason why isn't immediately obvious, it's clear that Mr. Shamshire has regularly been standing with his hands to the wall in front of that lamp. Right. What have you been up to, you nut? I asked the court to recall juror number 4's earlier statement. Me? What did I say? You said that blowing into the gas pipe would make the lights in the room and the entire building flicker. Now, if you recall juror number 3's statement. What, me now? When the gas worker who visited his home blew with too much force into the pipe, it caused all the lights in the gas stove to go out and gas to start leaking into the rooms. Honestly, that incident was an accident. However, the simple fact is... Oh, don't tell me he actually killed Duncan. But he said 3 months ago. I don't know. Yeah, he could have extinguished every other light and gas stove in the building as well. I will. Are you suggesting that the man purposely caused the gas to...
Objection.
Alright. Van Zieks isn't having any of that. Whilst I acknowledge that the prosecution is required to remain silent during the summation examination, I must toast my learned friend utter disregard for the letter of the law. What's the meaning of this, Lord Van Zieks? This curious photograph, or whatever it is, presented by the defense, the so-called skin prints, clearly that cannot be accepted as any form of usable evidence in this case. But it's an exciting new forensic technique developed by a great detective. Yeah, it's nothing. Yeah, we've learned that before. A mere toy developed by an amateur sleuth with too much time on his hands. Ah. Certainly, even research of this nature by the esteemed Mr. Sholmes cannot be recognized by the court as formal evidence.
Hold it!
Oh, please, my lord. If I may. Mrs. Addo. It was not the defense's intention to submit the skin prints as formal evidence. We merely wish to present the result of Great Detective's investigation of the scene as a tool by which to explain a possibility to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Oh, Van Zeke, he's like, damn, she's good. If the trial were to come to an end now, we should never learn the truth behind these mysterious handprints that everyone has been now seen. I don't believe we can allow that to happen. I'm sure the jurors would agree. Damn, she's good. You're right. Whether those strange handprints are a significant clue or not, it's down to us to decide. Clue number 3. Alright, I need a drink as well here. I want to hear more. Yeah, I don't like to break a promise. No, wait, you heard his lordship. It's not fair. Didn't come in and what? It's even. Does that mean it's same? Or do we need to convince one more? Well done, Miss Nahodo. Alright, change his or her mind. Mr. Nasmi's trial will have to continue. Thank you, Mrs. Ada. I couldn't have done it without you. Oh no, it was you who identified the clue after all. This is very important. This is very much to your success. Oh, he's... Why, Mr. Shakespeare? You seem to be losing your composure. Just one more juror, Mr. Nahodo. You can do it. Might be 4. Continue, counsel. Let's do drummer number 6, actually, after, in drum number 1. No need. No need, Susanoo. Alright.
Hold it!
All the evidence, you say? He's all pointing at the Japanese man with the big mustache. Yes, it's the Englishman with the bigger mustache. But the defense just demonstrated another possible explanation for the events of the night in question. What do you make of that? What, your so-called skin prints? The exciting new forensic investigation technique developed by the great detective himself. The numerous handprints on the wall are clearly out of the ordinary. If Mr. Shakespeare had indeed put his mouth to the gas pipe on the night in question, can't be denied that there are possibilities that where the poison was. Well, yes, I won't deny that it's playing on my mind. And besides, even if the fella has been up to some mischief with the gas pipes dozens of times before, doesn't mean he got up to the same shenanigans on the night in question, does it? Oh. If you can't make your case better than that, I'm afraid I can't change my stance. You do make a very valid point, sir. What? That's true. Perhaps I was a little hasty. No, wait. Look, you've got your chance here, haven't you? So it's time to prove your theory. If you and your Japanese cohorts can, that is. Just leave our nationality out of this, please. Just now, Hodo, if we can't substantiate our position, I'm afraid the jurors that changed their minds before may very well change them back. What can I do? Is there any more proof I could give here? I got this evidence with this stool. What's the supporting testimony? Sure, let's go for the supporting testimony. I don't have evidence to support my theory. However, there is witness testimony that substantiates it. What's that? Testimony. It's incredible. Whose testimony? Yes, it's all connected. Everything is linked. Is it himself? Right, Mr. Garadeb.
Take that!
Alright, never mind. That's not it. But he didn't do a testimony, yeah. Someone that we... The witness who spoke about the gas on the night in question. Yes, there was someone. Oh, the gas in question. Alright, wait, hold on.
Hold it!
Must be Mr. B-Man. A drone meter man. Must be a drone, right? A drone? Might as well save it. Because I really don't want to go back on this. Again. Takes a bit too long. This guy.
Take that!
No? Who's it? Someone talking about the gas. Himself? Oh, Natsume? Yeah. Obviously, I'm talking about the defendant. Mr. Suzuki Natsume himself. The defendant. Well, the stranglings, I think. Yeah, Mr. Natsume said the following. My lodgings, there's been a whole series of strange happenings in my lodgings. Even on the fateful night it happened when I returned to Mr. Shamspeare's room. I lit my gas stove and climbed into bed, but before long, the stove went out and somebody tried to kill me. On the night in question, the gas in the defendant's room went out. So I asked the card, was that a mere coincidence or not? Holy gosh. Good golly. So that Shamspeare blew air into the gas tank to make the man's stove go out on purpose. Now hold your horses there. Why would you do that for? Mr. Foreman? What is it, man? Cannot allow judgment to be passed whilst this down. It's still there, yeah. I don't have conclusive evidence. You must surely agree there is more to this case than meets the eye. Makes sense. Fair enough. Like I said at the outset, I'm a man of logic first and foremost. Well, it's good to see Mr. Fair play here. Alright, that's 4 jurors leaning towards not guilty, my lord. We've overturned their decision. Therefore, the defense calls for the trial to continue. As the defense has rightfully indicated, the summation examination has concluded with majority of jurors altering their decisions. 2 jury members now called guilty, 4 now called not guilty. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna auto it. O Lord, how can thy humble Shamspeare serve thee? What say you in response to the various revelations made during the summation and examination? So God mend me, I do solemnly swear. I recall odd of either the lamp or the pipe. Your handprints have made a tiny mess all over the wall there. How do you explain that then? I'm done with this. The dignity of this great courtroom has been sullied enough already. Juror number 5? Who, me? As I went to some pains to point out already, a print from the self-professed detective's toy has no place in the British Court of Law. As such, whether or not this man did indeed stand before the gaslight with his hand against the wall remains at this time an establishable conjecture. You would all do well to remember that.
Objection!
The prosecution must concede that it would be extremely simple to verify. Just order the mouth of the gas pipe feeding the lamp in Mr. Shamspeare's room. Well, what did you just say? Reach the poison there. What appears to be extremely simple is my Nipponese friend's mind. You will recall that in order to check for the presence of poison in the tea, some remnants of tea were required. Yes. Therefore, it shouldn't be beyond your wit to imagine that even if poison were to have spread on the pipe, it would have completely evaporated by now, making an analysis impossible. Ah, I didn't think of that. In any case, Counsel, I failed to see what could possibly have motivated the man to do as you described. Why on earth would this fellow have wanted to blow air into the gas pipework where he lived? To commit murder, damn. Big assumption. Order, Counsel. Alright, hold on. Let me take a break. Let's BRB for a sec. Alright, BRB. Alright. Wowie. Okay, precisely. Whose life do you propose this man was planning to kill? Yeah, it couldn't be answer. The answer's no, couldn't be sent. Wants to end the life of Gaudeb? Or Suzeki? Suzeki, surely.
Take that!
If a gas lamp were to go out, it would be noticed immediately, of course. But a gas stove, on the other hand, could be silently extinguished by the killer without anyone noticing. I live around these parts myself, so I know what it's like. I can tell you, trying to sleep without the stove lid is pretty much suicide. You freeze to death in no time. Mr. Gaudet, the landlord, has a large fireplace in his part of the residence on the top floor. In other words, it wasn't the landlord, but a fellow lodger whose life Mr. Shansfield was trying to end. Outrageous. I'm talking, of course, about the defendant. Mr. Natsume isn't the villain in this case. He's the victim this man was trying to murder. I wonder why, though.
Objection!
No, I hate it every time the prosecution does. It's just really stupid. I hate it. In every Ace Attorney game, you know, the prosecution's like, alright. It's like, you find something and then the prosecutor's like, oh yeah, let me shut that down and give you something new and then we have to solve that. That's basically it. Who did put it there? Who did what? Put what there? Who put the poison? Who put it there? Was aware of this man's trickery with the gas supply and his attempt to kill. How could anyone have known of Mr. Shansfield's murderous design? I mean to suggest Naturally, the sole possible answer to that question could be more obvious. Only the man whose life was being threatened could possibly have known. In other words, the person who put the poison on the gas pipe was a clear retaliatory attack. Can only have been the accused, Mr. Suzeki Natsume. Ah. I don't think that's the case, but I get his logic here, yeah. Defense counsel's theorizing has failed to avert suspicion from the accused. Far from it. In fact, now that's a clear motive for the poisoning to be the full motive. That suspicion is greater than ever. And then cue him flying against the wall here. Yeah, there we go. How did you manage to turn that around on me so rapidly? Just now, Hodo, you must respond. Otherwise, the members of the jury may very well change their leaning against us again. This may be our last chance to gain the advantage. What advantage? Well, it would seem that somebody put poison on the gas pipes in Mr. Shanspeare's room. We must name that person now and absolve Mr. Natsume's guilt. You mean name the true culprit? I think it's a drone, 100%. Who could it be? As it happens, one possible culprit does come in mind. The evidence, the poison. It all points to a particular person now. Don't tell me it's olive green. Oh, I don't know. You know exactly what? I don't even know who it is. Uh-oh. Could be olive green. She had poison on her, right? There is one other person who I believe could have been involved in all this. The true culprit of this crime. The true culprit? A term found only in a second-rate novels featuring a third-rate grade detectives, my Nipponese friend. Sounds like Kaiba for a second. You're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rated deck. This fast has gone long enough. I see no reason to cut it short before its disappointing climax. Alright. Oh, pray tell, my little Nipponese friend. What is your latest theory? Who is the so-called true culprit of this crime? Holy shit. I don't know. I don't know. I think I gotta save. That's what I gotta do. Holy shit. Who is it? I don't think it's Gyarados because we saw him earlier, so it's not him. I don't think it's Natsume. He's a witness, but I don't think he's set foot.
Take that!
The poison that afflicted Mrs. Transfer, I believe. Miss Olive Green. Miss Olive Green. Oh. Miss Olive Green. I do feel I've heard that name in the recent past, Council. I don't recall where. Miss Olive Green. The woman from 6 days ago? The victim in the recent stabbings of on Briar Road. An incident for which Mr. Natsume was arrested, I hasten to add. Oh, of course, yes. Miss Green. She was left comatose for some 3 days, I believe. I hear she regained consciousness 2 days ago. I hardly need remind the court that Mr. Chancellor's poisoning took place 3 days ago. Even that the woman was laying comatose in a hospital bed at the time, she appears to have rather fine alibi. True, on the night that the incident occurred, Miss Green was in hospital unconscious. Oh, but they did meet up. Yeah, but still, I didn't put that in the account. That was just like a Hail Mary right there for me. And there was another, yeah, it was the poison that kind of I believed it was. The defense requests that she be brought up to the witness stand in order to explain the deals to the court. I feel like I have to do the whole, I think we have to go over 2 hours here today. But I feel like we're getting close to the end here. Are you acquainted with Miss Green? Huh? No, never heard of her. Judging by the look on Mr. Chancellor's face, I think perhaps he generally doesn't know her. At least not by name. As the voice of Her Majesty prosecution here, I adhere to my word. We will see my learned Nipponese friend fast through to its conclusion. I appreciate that. The prosecution requests a short recess, my lord, in order to subpoena. It's called subpoena. Subpoena. Nah. Alright. At the present time, I feel the prosecution's argument remains largely uncontested. Accordingly, I'm afraid that the defendant and his culpability remain the sole subject of this court's attention. Thank you, counsel. We will reconvene in the hour. Court is adjourned. All right. All right, we can save over. Fortunately. 23rd February, 11:32, the Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. Joyful, jubilant, jumping jacks. Oh, Mr. Natsume. I'm so pleased for you. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire and non-locum judicial assistant Miss Mikatoba Esquire S. Now, finally, at long last, they can be proved. Prove that I'm innocent and prove that my tea is innocent. Ah, good morning, my dear fellows. Ah, hairlock Shlomes. May you drink my tepid tea and fall forever silent. So the tea was innocent. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Shlomes, you came. How wonderful. Please, save your derision. I know what you're thinking. Good morning, he says, when it's nearly time for luncheon. Your scowl is written clearly across your face. No one said or thought anything of the sort. The truth is, I was determined that today would be the day. My sleep seduced me last night, I thought. Tomorrow for once I shall not oversleep. I'll rise early and be present in court to support my companions. This spirited determination has a beauty all of its own, does it not? Oh, I feel like it's going to be another hour. Maybe I do stop. Why time after time do they make the... Alright, we'll end it at 2. I don't think I could go for another hour. Unless I finish it there. I don't know, I feel... Oh yes, upon which realization I attempted an experiment. And the results, by first slide, I was exhausted. And began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness. Shocking. The conclusion of last night's experience is this. Good night's sleep is quite simply essential. Other suppose, approved by experimentation, that my dear fellow is the scientific method. And one more thing, do you remember this? Yes, it's the poison. Yes, of course, it's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday. Oh, you didn't manage to... it was a laborious task as the bottle was near empty. It's a bit inconvenient. I managed to confirm that it contained strychnine. Ah, so I was right. Perhaps though, of course, some canonical evidence does not prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave the ball in your care now. But licking the inside of the neck is not recommended. Alright. Ah, could I have a word? Gregson, how good of you to come. Get it. Excuse me. Wait a minute, Inspector. I don't wish to make a nuisance of myself. And look at your face. I say it's someone else who you think is making a nuisance of himself. My dear Inspector, please speak freely. Pretend that I'm not here. Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me. You have the results, Inspector, of the investigation of Mr. Museum? Not yet. It shouldn't be long now, though. No, I'm here about something else. That dead convict, actually. Ah, you mean the man from this newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Mr. Chancellor's room? Mr. Selden. A man by the name of... Ah, yeah, Selden. I went through the archives of the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that, well, it caught my eye. Something caught your eye. What, Inspector? What? I copied out relevant parts for you so you can read it for yourself. Alright, thank you. These documents include the deals that were in the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Chancellor's room. I'll arrange everything in the court record so we don't have duplicate information. Why are you giving us a copy of this important file, though? Oh, wait, hold on. Alright, 8 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder, natural causes, the estimated £1. Alright. So my natural causes been suffering a fever. Alerted by the shouts. Alright, why? Well, you're the ones who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? I'm just making sure things get handled in the proper fashion. Oh, Scotland Yard's working are so on for. Indeed, my dear fellows. An inspector here is a shining diamond in his crown. Shining diamond? In the rough, maybe. Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court proceedings are about to resume. Make your way into the courtroom at once. Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening with interest from the public gallery. Not nodding off at all, certainly not. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Moustache in floods of tears personally, so best of luck to you. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes, Mr. Natsume? It's time, isn't it? Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shakespeare. There's going to be a final battle. Alright, okay, maybe I do take the hour. I do have to finish it. I won't really have saved Soseki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. It's been coming to a head now. You can do it, Renosuke. You can do it. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in I was going to say serious succession. Serious session. Again now. Serious session. Before the recess, we heard a most startling accusation from the defense. Namely that the victim of the case we heard here only a few days ago is the true perpetrator of this incident. A reckless, rash, and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing in my opinion, my lord. However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer for the dubious Eastern Shores. Thank you for that backhand consideration. Rather cold assessment from the Honourable British Prosecutor, I must say. So, Lord Van Zieks, is the new witness present and ready to take the stand? Ready and waiting in the witness antechamber, my lord. Alright. Very well, bailiff, bring the witness in. This is Olive Green. He's painting. Witness, state your names and occupations for the call, please. William Shakespeare, my liege. For my occupation, I can say only that I be a tragic victim to be pitied. Totally unemployed, in other words. I'm Olive Green. I'm a fledgling artist. Well, no. Not a fledgling, really. A hopeless failure who's too weak-spirited to admit she has no talent, I suppose. Also currently unemployed. In other words, what a couturier? 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 We'll find out what that word is. Don't worry. I'm learning English. Oh. Yeah? What's that word again? Let's find out again. Couturier. Alright. What is this? Coterie.
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 Coterie. Coterie. Alright. What's coterie? Shared interest. Alright. He said, I poison. This is ridiculous bassoon. And? Do you accept the charge? I don't know anything about any poisoning. I don't know anything about this man. Come, lady, die to live. Verily, I know not thy prickly, pea-pigmented personage. Very well, let's proceed with the matter at hand. That being to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair. It's all very strange indeed. Wouldn't you suspect me? Why would you suspect me? I barely ever go to the East End anyway. Happens that I passed by that neighbor 6 days ago, that's all. Alright, sorry about the quietness, but... Alright. At this point in time, all that appears to connect you and Mr. Shanspere's lodge is in very well instead of 6 days ago. That's why. We'd like you to testify formally now and exactly what happened. Oh no, the incident 6 days ago? You mean you want me to relieve that awful incident? Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we'll be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamspere. Oh yeah, my mouth is sore. I think I need I don't know what should be rinsing. Mouthwash? Salt water? About 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow. I stabbed him back, coincidentally. I've outside the house where the man in this case have their lodgings. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakst. I was bespoke for my summer. Alright, we could press on that. A little matter to attend to, that's all. Anyway, I was admitted straight to hospital. Okay. On 2 statements we could press. 3rd and the 4th, yeah. Alright, meanwhile you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shamspere. What was following morn, when I did awaken that I learned of dire events. Mary, what a commotion did the officers of the law make on the floor above mine? Mr. Zaki was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. I suspected there is nothing connecting these 2 witnesses but happenstance. It's true, it doesn't seem as though they're related at first glance. Do we have evidence? We don't. I'm not sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here. I certainly feel for it. Yes, my lord. I want to eat dinner. I'm a bit hungry. I think I have to see this through and through. And it will be good time. Alright, 5 p.m. I was working on the snow when I was stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, I happened to be outside the house. Okay. Okay, I was tavern. Alright, press this. Why are you in the tavern? Tavern, you say? Which one? Slug and salad, yep. And a little unexpected, I feel. Huh. What do you mean, Lord Van Zieks? The slug and salad offers usually fine dining for the locality, at least. Not established you expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room. True, the menu lists premium crust of bread and glass of water in different levels of cloudiness. I would have expected grubbery in the local vicinity to be more appropriate for your means. Watery soup and mushy peas. Or rather, soupy water and pea-like mush. All equally appetizing. I just want to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that? How different can water really be? Hey, filtered water, eh? I ordered some filtered water, like a filtered water dispenser, on Friday. So we'll see what happens on Friday. See the taste of it. Because we've been buying a lot of plastic bottles recently. Due to this, you know, situation of COVID. I wonder if we have evidence to explain those actions. We don't, unfortunately. Sadly. No. Yes, absolutely. Alright, we press this one, right? It's the first time I've been in there. I had a little matter to attend to. Let's press that. What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate. There was nothing really. It was not worth mentioning. If you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital. Ah. It was related to the card you were holding. Alright, I do have evidence now. Screen. What was that? Did she clear hit? Oh no. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Does the matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan.
Excuse me.
Alright, here it comes. Mr. Shamspeare, do you have something to share with the card? To be or not to be? That is the question. Ah, pray forgive me. The great bard's word springeth from within me with never thought. Don't tell me. It's because you possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's word a moment ago seems to make you think of something. Something of relevancy, perhaps. Well, nay, sire. There was nothing at all. Presumably you know the name, though. Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. I would were so, but sadly nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation style. My lodgings fellows be rarely known to me. So, you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours. Ah, Miss Green. Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong? The card that was mentioned before, containing the note. Do you have it upon your person? I do, yes. But I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really. Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please. Alright, there it goes. Of course, that's what links Mr. Shamspeare and Mr. Green. It's Duncan Ross. Now, continue with your testimony, please, Miss Green. No, never mind. We got him. Let's just examine the piece of evidence first. Examine the piece of evidence. The envelope has been ripped over rather carefully, hasn't it? The screen strikes me as the type to open correspondence more neatly. Ah, what is it? The way the envelope is torn, I'm almost sure I've seen the exact same shape before. Somewhere else. Oh, you don't mean... What do you think about this piece of evidence, Miss Naohara? Exactly, that's it. Try and match them up. Yeah, there we go. It's a perfect fit. You go together perfectly. The torn off end of the envelope clearly belongs to this card. There we go. There we go. And that's it, yeah.
Hold it!
Press it. Skip through and prevent some evidence, I think. Dung, dung, dung. Mr. Shamspeare. Yes, sire? On the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize, for a very particular reason? I don't know what you're talking about. Great, if thou has some purpose, speakest. Very well, I will present the court with evidence. Evidence that explain why you had to be the Slug and Salad, namely, this evidence.
Take that!
I believe this card reveals the answer. Good lord. It's Green's card, you mean? That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shamspeare, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbings are exactly as described in this note. Ah. Personally, I find it hard to believe that coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamspear? Well... Excuse me. Can I say something? Yes, Miss Green. That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it? Well, you think so, yes. But it's hard to believe it's merely... My lord, may I? May you what, Miss Green? I'd like to make something very clear about that card. Very well then. You may amend your testimony to include details of that peculiar note. This note was delivered to me on my address. It has nothing to do with the old man next to me here. Well, it does.
Objection.
The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying it out of the instructions in the note, you found yourself in the hospital. Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that happened to me. Yes, it is terrible. If it is all true, that is. What do you mean? Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's a torn off end of the envelope. Oh, is it? And so happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received. What? Where did you find that? In Mr. Shamspear's room. Eh? In my room? Mr. Shamspear, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere? Well, your actions that afternoon followed the instructions in the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salon on Briar Road at 5 PM on the 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspear. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green. Oh, what did I do? This torn off end of the envelope proves the note was originally in Mr. Shamspear's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession? I don't have the first idea. I'm fledgling at this after all. There's only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspear's room and stole it. You did what? Sorry, that has what? You broke, that way in my room. What on earth do you want with me? I feel like this seems like a big misunderstanding. It seems like, It's Green. Anyone found to be giving false testimony will be duly punished. He's that man. Yes, I know. You will give a formal testimony again. Alright. Do remember now, it was a week ago, pre-adventure, that note was delivered unto me. I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Sand, yet nobody came. After, on the evening, I shared the company of the Japanese fellow, and the note had vanished. The villain here. I think it's that last statement. I think she thinks that he's Selden, right? Seems like a bit of a misunderstanding. That means Olive Green's gonna go in jail, 100%. We all know who the liar around here is. If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? The pilot envelope was without question found in Mr. Shamspear's room. I don't see why I should explain. Sorry. It's your job to give the explanations and proofs you, the fledgling lawyer. The fledgling will do his best. Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth. Well, counsel? I'm ready, my lord. Alright. The defense will now proceed with the cross-examination. Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Chancellor's room. There can be no question of that. And how did she acquire the note? That's how she acquired the note. Do you remember now? Twice a week? Yeah.
Hold it!
Seems that the note was actually delivered to Mr. Chancellor about a week ago. Oh, does it? But for some reason, it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened except for you breaking into Mr. Chancellor's lodging. For what reason would the witness have done that? I won't deny that Miss Green's possession of the note would appear to defy logic. However, until and unless her involvement in this case can be proven in some way, any further pursuit of the note is meaningless. Miss Green could only have come in possession of the note by stealing it from Mr. Chancellor's room. And yet, there's no obvious reason why she would have done such a thing. What if there was some other reason she broke into his lodgings though? Yes, we should pursue the idea, Miss Naoto. We're close now, I can feel it. We're close to breakthrough. Alright, we're nearly there. It's this last part, I feel like. And for that torn off piece of envelope, I don't know anything about it. I'm a fledgling artist, remember? Artists are nearly always introverted characters. Introverted? Phi. Offie. This fledgling... I skipped it. Yet I am an angel, a seraph. Birds do harmonize with my song. The winds doth frolic on my wing. Oh pity, new sprite, new dance moves. Wherefore dost thou accuse one so poor of heart, ample woman? Pure of heart? I don't think so. Even a fledgling like me can see you're just a failure. Tragedy. Thou shalt not know the true heart of an artist until thy instruction hereafter by death. Oh the days, oh the years, alas, to enlighten thee, thou must wait so long in vain. Is thou hunter, interject with some clever remark. This is your chance to shine. I'm no experienced actor, Mrs. Aho. No, as far as I can tell, the only thing that's going to resolve this argument is evidence. Well, clear that Miss Green did in fact break into his room, isn't it? Alright. What he said? Alright. Why would I think I am? I have no idea.
Objection!
Nope, never mind. I was just shot in the dark there. I think I may have to press the other statement here.
Hold it!
Do even after waiting for an hour, nobody appeared? Well, yes, sire. This is thou sayest. Really? Pause for a moment before you answered? In truth, when thou asked whether nobody appeared, I did certainly recall. Oh, here it comes. Really, do you mean to tell the court that somebody did appear, after all? Alright, let me take a water here. Alright, in the name of Beelzebub. Are you perchance from a Midsummer's Night Dream? Come to taunt me? Is that wrong with me? Oh, I don't know what it is.
Hold it!
When exactly do you notice who have gone missing? Such ideal thoughts never accompany my mind. I'm busy with great ideas. In other words, you didn't notice? Several days passed between your outing to the tavern and Mr. Natsume's visit to your room. Yes, it would appear that the note disappeared sometime in that interval. Such idle thoughts never accompany my mind. I am busied with great ideas. And yet during that time, Miss Green was comatose in hospital, was she not? Here then, she could have not been stealing things from Mr. Shamspeare's room. Ah, yes, of course. It's all some sort of misunderstanding, isn't it, Mr. Prosecutor, sir? Failed to give a satisfactory explanation. I'm not here to advocate for your defense, ma'am. I wouldn't tolerate inconsistencies in your story. You would do well to remember that. Oh dear me. What's Lan Van Zink's getting at? Must be something to do with this one. Why would I? Anything here? Maybe it is this. Oh, the poison?
Objection!
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yesterday at the hospital, you saw this bottle. Yeah. And though the contents split. Or spilled, I mean. They're doing the did I say split before before the other spilled? I swear I said split again. Mr. Sloane's liquor was still in the bottle was identified. Strychnine. What? Strychnine? The very same poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspeare? Ah, so Shamspeare didn't kill anyone. Well, maybe he did try to kill someone. One reason alone. To cover the end of the pipe that feeds the gas lab in Mr. Shamspeare's room with poison. Can this be? You broke into my room? It may seem incredible to the con. From the remaining clues, there is one logical conclusion we can reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shamspeare's life with poison was you, Miss Olive Green. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dearie. Me. Oh damn, she's fallen. She's toppled over. Order! Counsel, are you seriously suggesting this woman put poison on the end of the gas pan with intent to kill? Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts. If Miss Green did indeed set this odious trap 6 days ago, the victim had put his mouth to the pipe to that evening as suspected. Yeah, it would have happened 6 days ago, surely. Well, that's a very good point. Perhaps not, like my lord. Beg your pardon? There was a significant police presence in the area that evening on account of the incident of Brer Road. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of the ongoing inquiry. A circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at the time. Lord Van Zieks. And of course, the following morning, there was more activity at Mr. Shamspeare's address. More activity? Ah, yes. You mean his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder? So I assume he opted to a good place to sleep. Mr. Shamspeare was meddling with the gas in the pipe for a very sinister reason himself. To cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant. Oh no, maybe he is killing. Once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police. Alright, he wouldn't do anything. He's the 10th victim, being in a prison cell. Why is he killing though? Okay, I don't know. It's one thing after another. This case has gone off the rails. 3 days ago now, the situation changed again. Yeah, I need to scratch my ear. Sorry. Is it on auto? Hold on. Yeah. I still need to buy some open headphones. Ah. I just like nipped my mouth again. Not good when I'm gonna eat dinner, am I? Alright. In conclusion, the poison that was present on the mouth of the gas pipe, I think I need some space to, has been put there in the victim's room for some 4 days earlier. Mary! Mary! With the new understanding, it becomes clear that the letter was all part of the plan. What plan? The court will recall that the note gave instructions to visit the Slugger and Salad at 5 o'clock, and the recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for these instructions are now clear. To ensure that the lodger would not be at home at the stated time. To make sure I wasn't at home? Exactly. While you were out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed. You mean to say that letter was written by Miss Green? Yes. In order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. Just after she smeared poison over the mouth of the gas pipe in your room. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Order, order. What do you have to say for yourself, witness? I think it might be a bit understanding. Just who are you? Why are you trying to kill me? Miss Green's motive should be obvious. It's all tied up with someone whose name we've heard several times already during the course of this trial. Is it? What's behind all this? It's not Duncan Ross. Which person is behind this woman's motive? Natsume?
Take that!
Good gracious, what an utterly unexpected response. Oh, never mind. I got that wrong. Is it Duncan Ross? It hasn't been passed around. What is he on about? Alright, I got thrown off because he said, oh, it's a name. It's Duncan Ross. Duncan Ross. Duncan Ross? I haven't heard that name in this trial. Yeah, in the investigations. Makes sense, yeah. I knew I heard the name somewhere else. It was all over the papers a month ago, when the man died in a strange circumstance at the haunted lodgings. Oh, that does ring a vague... Ah! Of course, yes, I remember now. The young man they claimed was strangled by the convict's curse or such. Sadly, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind. No, it wasn't an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shanspere's blowing into the gas pipe and causing gas to leak into the room. It was murder, plain and simple. I'm confused. What? Well, what do you know? This world is so unfair. Curses, curious deaths. That's all people care about. If it's an interesting story, they want to know. It doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved. And once they're bored, just 1 month later, once the story lost its appeal, everyone's forgotten about him. You? You mean you? Duncan was... Mr. Ross was Miss Green's fiancé. Fiancé? You may not have known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shampspere. She's known exactly who you are all along. Because you're her sworn enemy. The murderer took the life of the man she was to murder. No, eh? Wait, no. What? Was it a month ago he died? Whoa. He died a month ago. Okay, it makes sense if he died a month ago. I thought it was a year ago. No, he did. He died a month ago. Never mind. You smeared poison over the end of the gas. Alright. Alright, this is all extraordinary. Am I correct to understand that you now accuse both parties, counsel? Yeah, causing his judgment to be clouded. I wanted to kill these lodges, as you say. You have completely failed to provide a motive. A motive? Yes, yes. That's right, Mr. Reaper, my liege. I have been slighted. It's lies, all lies. I deny utterance. And you have to forgive me, Mr. Nowhutter, sir. I don't intend to admit to anything either. Screen. I'm sure you'll think I'm being very rude, but I'm not going to be sent to the gallows for the likes of this scoundrel. Alright. But you broke into the man's room. If you didn't do it to smear poison on the pipe, what was your reason? I thought I had a look around, that's all. Sorry. You're right, I suspected him. Though I thought perhaps I might find some evidence or something in his room. Evidence that was him who took Duncan's life. I do turn the key in the locked room. With some turps and a piece of wire. Damn, he learned how to pick. Oh, awfulness. Oh, awfulness. Oh, tyranny. Oh, profanity of woman. I don't know who's bad here. I think everyone's the asshole. I think everyone's the murderer. What evidence you search reveals. Well, I spotted the note that I sent him lying on the floor. When they went to pick it up, I noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose, and underneath it, discovered a secret hiding place. Eh? Yes, we also discovered that hiding place. Inside, we found a newspaper cutting and a photograph and an empty tin box. Ah, yes. Well, the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty. What? There was something in it. Yes. Please tell us. Alright, this key. This rather nice key. Ah! Damn. What? What are you doing with that? What the? Yeah, it has drained from his face. Give it here. Give it to me now. It's mine. I inherited it. Oh, is that a witness? What did you say? You inherited it. What's all this about? You inherited that key? It was obviously important to you since you had gone to such lengths to hide it, so I took it. I don't know what it's for, but you took something precious from me, so I took something precious from you. What if it means you can't open something now? I don't care. Give it back. Yeah, it seems like, yeah, these guys are terrible people, both sides. It's all come back his motive for doing so. It's the key to everything that's happened. I figured it out. It's true that there appears to be no motive to support the accusation against Mr. Champspeare. Reconsidering everything we know now, I think there is actually something I could explain it. What? Right. Mr. Man, you need to present the evidence. Yeah, I got it.
Take that!
That's an official police report, isn't it? Selden file. How did you get a hold of that? Selden. The now sadly deceased Mr. Ross and the defendant Mr. Natsume have only one thing linking them, the fact that they had lodgings in the same room. Well, yes, we know this, certainly. The room that was formerly occupied by Selden, until that is, he was arrested by Scotland Yard for his involvement in multiple burglaries. Oh, I see. And it so happens that the convict left behind one very substantial mystery when he died. Some £1,000 worth of loot he stole, which as yet remains to be found. Ah, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. £1,000 lost en route to hell. That was how the papers summed it. It seemed that one particular fellow inmate was the convict in his final moments. So I had to imagine Selden trusting that inmate with his most closely guarded secret, the location of the stolen loot, and perhaps a key to unlock whatever container the valuables were in. Ah, you mean this key is... Mr. Shamspear, it was you, wasn't it? You were at the capital's offender's side when he died, were you not? Oh, what are you talking about? It's a false charge, I tell you, a false charge. The name of the inmate who was with Selden at his death isn't noted in this file, but a simple telegram to the prison where he died will quickly tell us how false the charge really is. But even if it's true, why would the man be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant? There's only one explanation for that, my lord. It was in the very room that Selden hid his loot. So, it all comes out. Yes, and having established that, all of Mr. Shamspear's subsequent actions starts to make perfect sense. When he let out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediately to Mr. Guydev's lodgings in the hope of renting Selden's old room. However, the retired anime man was unable to offer him the accommodation of his choice, because Selden's old room has already been left to somebody else, Mr. Duncan Ross. Which is why Mr. Shamspear subsequently devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupant in the room, which he did. He presumes he intended to inquire about switching into the newly vacant room. However, a certain jittery someone had beaten him to it. Mr. Soseki Natsume, the defender of this case no less. You decided to use the ploy with the gas again, did you not, Mr. Shamspear? This time to oust Mr. Natsume. All for one simple and avaricious reason. Well, I can't say that. Avaricious, I feel like. You You gone. We did it. I think we solved it. I think we finished the case here. Looks like I'm gonna snuff it before they get to stretch me neck. Listen, I want you to have me loot. Anything to stop the coppers getting their mitts on it. It's hidden in the room where I was lodging when they got me. Here, this is the key to it. Take it. Always stay one step ahead, mate. See you in L, I guess. Shamspear. See you in L. This mine. What did you just say? It's mine. That loot is mine. He's gonna go crazy. Oh god. Mr. Shamspear. It's all lies. I don't accept any of it. Why should I? After all, you don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed that fellow. Forsooth, I'm the victim here, remember? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? Oh god, he showed his true colors. If I don't admit to it, there's nothing you can do. You can't arrest me. For the time being, anyway. Early, you can't arrest the victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? I'm so close. I just need a few more hours. I swore to myself. I'll get my hands on it. And I can almost taste it now. You really think I just give it up? I give up? There's no question in my mind now. This man is guilty through and through. But he seems so utterly intoxicated by the idea of the loot. I'm afraid that however hard you press him, he'll never admit of what he's done, Miss Naoto. I think we've got evidence. There is a way. Pardon? There's one way I could finish him. He's already committed the most heinous crime to get his hands on this loot. Which is all we need to do is find it first. Fine plan. Were it not for the fact that the police thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. If there were at all, it must be very well hidden indeed. Huh. Without conclusive evidence, I certainly cannot rule. If only there was some way we could find the convict's loot quickly. This is one final piece of the complex puzzle. I think we have in our possession already, or rather, I think we may have something that could help us find where the loot is hidden. Do we? Lord. Yes, counsel? Defense would like to make a proposal about how to find the late convict's hidden loot. I believe we're already in possession of something that could give us a clue as to where's its whereabouts. It's a last chance, so it has to be worth a gamble. Besides, I've used the same technique once already. It definitely paid off then. Very well, Council. Let the court hear your idea. What propose we can use in order to locate the hiding place? Alright, what we can use? It's this, right?
Take that!
If I'm not mistaken, those are Mr. Shanspeare's handprints on the wall of his lodgings. That's right, my lord. Exposed as a result of the defense independent investigation of the scene. Based on the wonderful new discovery in the field of forensic science by the great detective Mr. Sloan. Great detective? Is that some kind of joke? Do you really think I'm going to be daunted by a man with such a ridiculous title? I should think the great bard ought to recognize such a title when he hears one. Mr. Shanspeare? Oh, he's in the card. Perhaps we should compete for the honor of most ridiculous title. Ah, this Herlock Sholmes himself. What are you doing here, great detective? Your usual haunts are the filthy backstreets of the capital, are they not? Ah, Mr. Reaper, it's been too long. I see your complexion has worsened since we last met. Mr. Sholmes? He does know Lord Van Zieks then. Well enough to say something like that in any case. Mr. Sholmes, I thought you may be heralded as a great detective by the population at large. It does not give you the right to come and go in my courtroom as you see fit. If I may, my lord, Mr. Sholmes' newly developed scientific method has helped us to uncover vital clues in this case already. Clues, you say? I call them skin prints, my lord. My method identifies every location touched by an individual under scrutiny. It's the method by which we will be able to discern this gentleman's gas pipe activities. Ah, you only need a small sample of something the individual has previously touched to make an indicator's show or something. I used the teacup you've been holding in elementary. Now, Mr. Naruhodo. Yeah, what am I to use a sample to make the indicated solution this time? Thank you for offering your help, Mr. Sholmes. When the convict was arrested, he was living in what is now Suzuki-san's room. We need a sample to help locate Selden's loot. What form of sample will we take? A sample? Oh, Jesus. I don't even know. Sample? Yeah, I feel like it's evidence. I don't think person. Like, who could it be? Natsume? Ah. I don't know. We need a sample to help locate his loot. What form of sample will we take? But it needs to be related to Selden. It must be this, right? Maybe not. I'll go for person. We'll need something of Selden's in order to create the indicated solution to find his loot. And something the convicted owns happens to be... Alright, yeah. Upon my word, Miss Naruhodo. The powers of reasoning appears to be up. On the up. So, which part of a particular person you have in mind? Yeah, from Olive Green, right? The key. Yeah, there we go. It's green. Me? What do you want from me? Key around your neck, if you please. Sorry? The key belonged to Selden. There will be remnants of secretions from the man's skin on the surface that we can use. Very true. That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create the indicated solution required for Mr. Sholmes' skin print seeker. And find out exactly what Selden touched in the room that he used. Yeah, whatever. Mr. Shanspeare, as one grade to another, I assure you. If the late convict's hull is hidden somewhere in the former lodgings, I shall uncover it no more than 30 minutes. Alright, we're getting close now. Sure, Mr. Shanspeare, the truth is well within our grasp now, and as such, you will never get your hands on Selden's stolen wealth. In that case, I'll gladly let Mr. Sholmes have this key. No. Give the key to me. Detectives shan't have it. It's over, Mr. Shamspear. No. No. You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do. Admit your guilt. Whoa. Oh, shameful spear. Despair. By thy name. There he is. The confetti as well coming out. Never intend to kill the man. I just want to drive him out of the room. That's all. So you have, wait, I don't know what I was doing. I think there was just like a long pause. I was just something out of my mouth. I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused. Why? I was 3 months behind with rent for one thing. Alright, Mr. Gaudet really has a lot to put up with. And he had the gas repaired work done immediately. Afterward, putting the room out of action for a while. And then, this Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign a new lease. Oh, Mr. Natsume. What unfortunate timing. Then, 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road, when the Japanese fellow got himself arrested, I thought I could finally have my chance, but it was, yeah. No, the ceiling was sealed off and guarded by the police night and day. And if I remember rightly, Mr. Stone spent the whole day in there reading books. Yeah, he read books. Couldn't have entered the room, let alone search for the loot. Which is why, on the day Mr. Natsume was acquitted and returned to his room, you once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that feeds the stove. Unbeknownst to you, however, that action would lead you into a deadly trap. William Shakespeare. How does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question. From Shakespeare Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1. Well, let me tell you, in your case, it's not to be. That is the answer. You deserve to die for what you've done. Alright, there we go. Nice. Yeah, what we're gonna do with Olive here. At first, I really did think it was just a terrible accident. But I'll never forget our conversation the night before Duncan died. Conversation? The gas supply in my new lodge is a complete disaster, you know, Olive. The gas supply? Yes, the stove always seems to go out in the middle of the night for some reason. That's no joke. They say it's the convict's curse. Oh, Duncan, please. Don't stay in there. I don't care how cheap it is. Alright then, if it's that important to you, I'll start looking for a new place. There are spare rooms at my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight? No, I better not. We said we'll wait until we graduate before we told our parents, remember? Oh, that was the last time we ever spoke. That very night, he fell victim to the gas. Only I'd known it was going to happen. I have insisted he left that horrible room that instant. Instead, all I have left with is really regret. I stopped going to school. Something kept drawing me back to the house on Briar Road. Saw a stooped Eastern-looking man with a mustache coming out of the house one day while I was there. He walked up to the road to Grubb's Grubbery for some food, so I followed him. I sat down myself next to him. Had a watery-looking soup starting to pick a quarrel with the publican. This place is cursed, I tell you, cursed. The ghost of the convict who used to live there, trying to suffocate me. I wake up in the middle of the night, freezing to death. Yeah. It's full of gas, and I can hardly breathe. This pipes has been checked, no problem there. It's like, I'm the problem. That's what they're thinking. How could that be? Duncan was gone, and now this man had almost suffered the same fate. Could it really be a curse? Then I remembered. The rumor I heard about the gas companies going around investigating the gas installations. A rumor? Ah, you mean? Yes, everybody heard the stories, it seems, about how they go around checking the pipes. I've instantly have, extinguished by blowing the air into the pipework. That's when I started. A little flick of doubt in the back of my head. That won't go away. Is it really an accident now? It plagued me day and night. So I bought this. One of the black markets in the East End. Black market, strychnine. I've never been. I just heard people talk about him. You could just buy them anything you can think of there. Black market, yeah. In some ways, being able to get my hands on this so easily made me so even more determined. I had to find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident? Or was it murder? And your chosen method for establishing the truth was simple. But highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe you suspect the man tampering with, and wait. Nothing would have come what you've done. But if he was guilty, he would pay for his crimes dearly. Yeah. I found out the name of the man I suspected, William Shakespeare. I then wrote him this little note. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the slug and salad. Slug and salad. You've done it. I knew that would worry him enough, so he should be sure to go. So I'll wait to see if it worked. And of course, Mr. Shakespeare followed the instructions to the letter. Did you got stabbed, right? Actually, no. All the time praying that the devil's work will be done, and that the culprit will get his just deserts. Alright, when you first stood in the dock before me, this whole affair seemed relatively straightforward. Yes, my lord. I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that we should subsequently find lurking behind the scenes. Yeah, it's been a long road, my Nipponese friend. Oh, yes. And one I certainly didn't envisage walking with you. Envisage. Nevertheless, together we reached the light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. Miss Green? Yes, my lord. You will henceforth be stripped of your freedom. It's punishment for the attempted murder of Mr. William Shakespeare. Yes, I know. And you, Mr. Shakespeare, you will be tried for the murder of Duncan Ross in cold blood, and subsequent attempt murder of Mr. Suzuki Natsume here present. Mr. Naohodo. Ah, yes? Yesterday, at the hospital, when you and your friend stopped me from ending your life by drinking what was left in the poison bottle. I wasn't myself. I can't even really remember what was going on through my mind. To be or not to be, I suppose. That it's the question that's so hard to answer, it seems. Well, personally, I'm glad of your being here, Miss Green. And I like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shakespeare didn't die when he ingested the poison. For your sake, at the very least. Because of you, I chose life, not death. Now you've made the truth come out, alas. Really, I can't thank you enough. Oh, Miss Green. Mr. Suzuki Natsume, yes, my lord. The court declares that you are exonerated from all blame in this matter. Accordingly, I would call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty. We are full agreement, my lord. Alright, in that case, I hereby declare the defendant. Wow, we actually took an hour. Do have a bit of the epilogue to go, so a bit, 3 hours in bed, but yeah. I gotta eat. I gotta douse myself with, what do you call it? Salt water. Court is adjourned. Oh yes, yes, alas. Divine justice duly done. Divine justice? My dear fellow, if there was any divine justice in this world, you would shave that mustache. No, this has nothing to do with my mustache. Some say that a luxuriant mustache is a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Sholmes. Look, student, Miss Naohara Esquire, once again, you saved me. From doom. I'm very happy to have able to help you, Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your acquittal. You're second in almost as many days. I was first acquainted with and gained affection of your English literature whilst in our great homeland empire. Then, by a twist of fate, I was brought to the land that bore the fruit of that literature. Only, the city of bricks and mortar became my prison. Try as I might, I never found my feet here. In the end, I confined myself to my room. Live life through friendly old books. You've had such a difficult time, haven't you? Ah, but a week ago now... sorry, I hit the mic. A week ago now, I dragged you out of that dark and dingy room of yours, did I not? Into the prison cell, yeah. You did, and I've seen more of life in this week than in all my years to date. And for the first time, I feel I've begun to see the true face of the English that's so far been hiding from me behind the wall of fog. My dear fellow, there's nothing special about the true face of an English, as you put it. Wherever one goes in the world, humans are human. There are few genuine difference. Yes, I think you're right. I finally see how to see that, and I've come to understand something. I've worked out why I was attracted to English literature in the first place. It made me see. However our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We're all just doing our best to live. Well said. I've come to feel the same way. I've made a decision too. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan. What? Just when we become friends here in England. What a terrible shame. Oh, I know. That does tug at my heartstrings. It really does. But I've decided I'd like to take everything I've learned here in Britain and write something of my own. A novel of sorts, I suppose. Oh my. So you're creating your own literature, Mr. Natsume. How wonderful. I wouldn't presume to call it literature. Why not? And that is precisely the definition, Mr. Mustache. I suppose you're right, yes. It will, in a way, be literature. As of now, all I know is that I like to try my hand at writing. I have no delusions of grandeur. I, for one, would love to read your work. Well, all things considered, it may be for the best. After all, you have once again emerged victorious. From a battle with the Reaper. Ah, that's very true. There is no salvation for a person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor. Desire to return post-haste to the perceived safety of your homeland is one I quite understand. I mean it. Objection. Alright, that's the end. And here we go, yeah, and that was the case. We found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago now. Zeki did indeed return to Japan and submit a report about both cases to the government. It was on reading that report that Professor Mikotoba was prompted to visit the scholar. Alright. And barely any time later, Cesar was given the news that she was returned to Japan as well, on the back of the telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happened after that trial on the following day. After the trial on the following day, the day we uncovered the loot hidden by the now deceased convict in his former lodgings. Oh. Do we see it? Was it to be continue? Oh no, we do see it. Where's his stove from here? Oh, well done, Mr. Shlomes. That was simply marvelous of you to uncover the secret's hiding place in just one day. Was this supposed to take 30 minutes? As I believe I told you, my dear fellows, he's got the visor down. His goggles down, right? He's got the mask, the fox mask. Oh, Iris is here. Crazy been happily munching agreements this whole time, you know, Hurley. Happily. I think perhaps humorously might be closer to the truth. So, it transpires the man fashioned a hiding place. Alright. What exactly is the loot? Let's look then, if you're ready. Let's examine the late burglar's hole. What the? What is that? There's blood on it. It looks to be some sort of neckband. A collar. A collar? It's huge though. And look at all the gemstones on it. You can see why it could claim to be worth £1,000. Perhaps I could have it as a bell. Oh, have you noticed on the inside there? There's some dark stains. Oh, I wonder what this is. You don't think... I've seen that... Haven't I seen that before? The logo? Oh, but I can't quite put my finger on it. There's blood on it. And of course, there's this emblem here. Large letter B and a small crown. That looks familiar. What does it signify, you mean? Oh, I hadn't noticed that, huh? That looks familiar. I feel like we've seen it last session. What could it have been? That's enough of that, I think. What's the matter with Mr. Shlomes? All the color has drained from his face. Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this, are you? Could be very valuable evidence after all. It must keep safely under lock and key. Ah, yes. We both know something. Grab your gory hands off it, you lot, and hand over now. What the hell is it? The Baskervilles? Yeah, I swear there was something like that. It was on the last case, I believe. Was there? Or have I gone crazy? At least not once I noticed it. Inside the collar, those stains, could they really have been blood? Yeah, it was blood. No doubt about it. Well, that was a funny case, wasn't it? It's all buttoned up now. And you look very pleased, Iris. I am, because I stand to wonder what I could use as the basis of this month's story in the magazine. This case will be perfect. It's been so fascinating. They're talking about the latest installment of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I presume. The mystery of the knife in the mist. And the mustached man and the convict's curse, perhaps. I could make a two-part story. Alright. Oh, I can't wait. Word, please, Iris. Where's the Hurley? Why not? It's the great case. I shall have to insist that you limit yourself the first two tiles. The second must never be written. Is that clear? Yes.
And so it was that the second of Soseki-san's cases became buried in obscurity.
Alright, autoplay. I got it.
Looking back, I feel I understand. I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story. It would take a little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen. For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again. With an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
All right, that's it. All right. So the third episode is going to link what Mr. Shlomes has been, hiding from us, right? And it seems like we're going to go into it looks like the Crystal Tower, right? That they've been building up. Return of the Great Departed Soul. It seems like it's going to link up a bunch of, it says the Austrian Empire, the Turkey Empire. Twisted Karma in his last bow. Resolve. Damn, it's getting sinister each episode, but that's it. That's it, this session. Yeah, that's it. I think I'll wrap things up. Hope you guys enjoyed this session, and I'll see you guys next time, and I'll catch you guys later.